Hello guys! In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this super cute duck cake. So I started out with a 6-inch chocolate sponge, and here I'm just filling it with some Nutella buttercream. Whenever I do a cake with a flavor, I want to make sure that you can taste it in every bite. So I went ahead and swirled on some more Nutella on top of that because you can never have too much Nutella. I probably should have microwaved the Nutella first because it was actually really hard to squeeze. But anyway, I went on to do the crumb coat, which is a thin layer of buttercream just to trap in those crumbs. Your crumb coat does not have to be perfect, but I did run out of Nutella buttercream, so I went ahead and did a second crumb coat, so it was perfect. I let my crumb coat set in the fridge for like 15 minutes and then went on to do the final coat. And I love this shade of green. Anyone who knows me knows green is my favorite color. I can't even remember how I achieved this shade, but I know it took more than just green. I'm pretty sure I used some ivory, purple, yellow, and white. But anyway, as you saw in the beginning, this duck cake has a mini cake, and I decided to make this out of real cake. And it's so small, I used a piping tip to cut the sponge. I know! I love mini things. This is literally so cute. But it was a pain. In fact, it wasn't even that hard to ice. I just had to take a lot of trips to the freezer because when the cake was cold, it was a lot easier to work with. This part was very tedious though, so I used a #1 writing tip just to pipe on these drips, and then I put the cake in the freezer and I smoothed it out using my offset spatula to give it more of that cartoony look. And then I used the smallest star tip I had, which is a #14, and I piped on the little swirls, and it's so cute, I want to cry. Okay, back to the big cake. I was sent this picture as inspiration, so to recreate the hedges, I just used some parchment paper and I cut out some arches or little bumps. I did that freehand, and then I used it as a stencil. If you're gonna do this, you wanna make sure that your cake is cold and the buttercream underneath has set fully so that you're not peeling up any buttercream when you remove the stencil. But this is what it looked like. I was really happy with the result. To create the waterfall, I just applied, why did I say it like that? Waterfall. For the waterfall, I just piped some buttercream down the side of the cake in like a organic rectangle shape, and I added some more buttercream near the bottom for like these splashes of water, and then I just smoothed it out, but not completely. I'm just making an extra big puddle here for the little duck. The little duck that fell down the waterfall. But yeah, I put the cake in the fridge for like 10 minutes and then I smoothed out the side, and that really gets rid of the texture without ruining the buttercream underneath. I then got some white buttercream and added some more details to my waterfall and just made it look really cutesy and cartoony but realistic. Like, I really like how this looked. I then used a large round tip from Amazon for the bubble borders. Bubble borders, I like that. But guys, as I pipe these borders, can we just talk about that new documentary on Netflix? If you guys don't know, stop what you're doing. No, watch this video and then go to Netflix and type in Unknown Number, the high school catfish. Bro, my jaw has not left the floor since I watched that thing. I am still in shock horror. Like, I've never heard of anything so insane. And I'm not gonna spoil it because you guys say I always spoil things, so I'm being good. But if you don't watch it in the next 24 hours, if I mention it in my next video, you can't be angry at me, okay? Anyway, as you can see, I added on a few extra details onto the cake before placing the mini cake on top. It was sitting in the fridge, by the way, so it was really easy to transfer. I then drew some lines around the cake and the ducks to mimic waves in the waterfall. And what was I doing? Oh yeah! I literally used a #1 tip to pipe a shell border on this mini cake, guys. I really did the most, and I love that. Like, it looks so cool. For the beaks, I just piped some orange buttercream in a general beak shape, and then I used my paintbrush just to smooth it out. And at this point, I literally felt like, what's that guy's name? Pinocchio's dad. It felt like I was building like my little army of ducks. Like, it was so much fun, genuinely. But I added on some daisies, finished it off with some glitter, and I wrote a happy birthday message on the bottom. And I added a candle, guys. I broke the candle so it was mini. This is how the cake turned out. I was so tempted to light the candle, but I thought that should be reserved for the birthday girl. But here's a night mode. I love the way the waterfall glistens. Like, this cake is everything. And look at this bird's eye view. My customer was so happy with their cake. And as always, let me know what you guys think. Bye, cuties.